Welcome back to the Mustangs Football Update. Ryan Robinson alongside head coach Michael Faulds. And we're into the middle of the summer months, as we all know at this point, football is a 12-month affair. Let's go to the most recent event. That would be the East-West Bowl. A couple of our guys at that game. You're always there keeping an eye on things. You've coached in this game in the past. What did you think of this year's game?
Yeah, it was one of the most exciting East-West Bowl games ever, right? It was a one-point game with Team West winning. We had two players, Reed Cloutier and Phil Cote, on Team West playing offensive line. And then on Team East was defensive tackle Marcus Robinson. Sean Jamieson, our offensive line coach, was also coaching on Team West. So an outstanding game, an outstanding week by those three players and Coach Jamieson. So altogether, a lot of fun. And I know those guys got a lot of leadership skills. They met a lot of great players from around the country. So now when they come back to Western football, they're going to be that much better.
And a little bit different for them to see each other on the opposite side of the ball directly at certain points.
I will say I was, nervously watching when I saw Phil Cote versus Marcus Robinson in an East-West Bowl. I was, just fingers crossed that no one got hurt and everyone remained healthy, which was good.
Awesome. That one is for the players looking ahead to a potential CFL position later on. The next event you guys are looking at is you looking at players potentially looking to come here. ID camps. This is something that some places do, some places don't. This is something that I think we've kind of maybe done a little bit of, but we're kind of defining it a little bit more here.
Yeah, there are a couple of different ways you can recruit, right? So you have a high school camp, which we did about a month back, and that's players and parents driving to you. The other format are these localized, regionalized ID camps where we're going to the players. So we're going to do that in a couple of weeks. Monday, May 25th, we're going down to the Niagara region. So St. Catharines, Hamilton, Niagara, Grimsby, all of those areas. We're looking for high school players in that region to come out. Happens to be an area without a university that plays football, but is a very good hotbed for football players. So we're excited to go down there, run an ID camp, and get to evaluate some good kids.
Absolutely. And, those scenarios where we're trying to make maybe life a little bit easier on the families and stuff like that. So nothing wrong with that at all. Event season continues. I know Wall of Champions has happened. I'm sure it was a good evening. Your team was in there. I know it was a big night. And just briefly touching on how Wall of Champions went this year.
Yeah, well, just want to thank all the people that took part in it, all the people that made videos like Paul Gleason, all our inductees, and all the people that came out to it. We had 350 people at the event, which I heard was about 120 more than the previous year. So continue to build momentum, and it was an exciting evening for past generations of Mustang football players to get together, have conversations, reminisce on the good old days. So it was a very proud evening and a fun evening.
I know you're big on connections. I'm sure you've seen and kept in touch with a lot of the guys where there still was a good element of just having everybody together sort of thing, or was it the scenario of a lot of those events where sometimes I haven't seen that guy in insert how many years here sort of thing?
Yeah, no, it's funny. You're away in some cases 15 years, you haven't seen someone, but you pick right back up to when you were together, whether that was in the weight room, in the classroom, on the practice field. You reminisce at a lot of stories. You reminisce about the great coaches and Semotiuk and Haylor and our days with Coach Marshall. So it's a fun evening for that. And as we look forward to, there's more connecting points that we're about to have as well, with the golf tournament coming up on Friday, June 5th, and then Coach's big retirement party on Saturday, June 6th. We've got a musical act by Connor Wicklum. So we're excited for that to be an outstanding evening as well.
The you and Greg Marshall connection will go on and it might be a few times we have to reference point it. The one thing I know, it was posted on the team social. You returned the favor in the quote unquote official retiring / unretirement. I know a lot of people didn't know that until Coach Marshall had mentioned. I think it was the OUA. It was the OUA Awards, I think, ceremony. The one when he said, just so everybody knows, I made a decision that Michael Faulds' number would not be worn afterwards. You decided to spin that a little bit around most recently as well.
Yeah, I think it was the right thing to do. I was there sitting as someone, I'm becoming the head football coach at Western. Do I keep my own number retired? I thought that was kind of weird, and people that know me, that isn't my personality. So it happened to be a year where we're ordering new purple and white jerseys, so perfect time to get 3 back in the fold. And as I was making that decision, I thought, you know what, it'd be very fitting with this legendary coach retiring to make sure that number 13 isn't being ordered. So we presented that to Coach at the Wall of Champions, and it was a special, meaningful thing, I know, to him and his family.
Does he still give you the grip on the back of the neck, or is that it doesn't matter what situation, you still get it when the hug comes in?
Yeah, you still get it. Everyone gets it. It was funny. I think current players thought it was just them, or maybe recruits, but when they saw the 07 team on stage, all of us now in our 40s, and everyone getting the grip around the neck, they quickly realized that that is just Coach Marshall's way of showing his love for his past players.
You mentioned what jerseys will and won't be worn. Obviously, the season approaches. I know even though it's we're into May, going to June, August will be here before we know it, and September will be here for football games as well. The season schedule, it took a little bit of time to come together, but how are you feeling about your team's schedule this year?
Yeah, so the schedule is, the old adage, we'll play who we need to play and when we're going to play them. But we have the bye week the first week, which isn't necessarily a great thing, but we'll be excited to play York University here for that opening game. It'll be our Frosh game. It's a night game, which is exciting. We're going to host, once again, McMaster for our homecoming. Later in the year, we have a tough stretch where back-to-back weekends we go to the nation's capital, a game at Carleton, which then, is Thanksgiving weekend, followed up by when we return, we go all the way back to play the Ottawa.
We're just going to live on the bus for 2 weeks.
Most definitely. And then we finish up like we have 3 of the last 4 years with the Laurier versus Western tilt at the end of the season. So I would like to think by now, 3 of the last 4 years, that's probably not by accident that that's happening.
I have a feeling that there might be a reason or a rationale there, but
yeah. So altogether, our guys are excited. The schedule's in front of us. Season tickets, individual tickets, our viewers out there, please come out and support us. The one thing that's very cool for us to say is we have the highest attendance in the OUA and second in U Sports, only to the Laval Rouge et Or. So we have great school spirit. We have great support by the community, by the alumni, and we want to continue that. We're proud of the product we're going to put out on the field this fall. So we encourage everyone to come out and see us.
And don't forget tickets to games, but also golf tournament and the Greg Marshall retirement ceremony, special tailgate spectacular. We're going to call it like 40 different things. Either way, come out and support and show some love for Coach Marshall. Thanks for doing this, and we'll see you guys again soon.